How's it going, guys? This is Tim again with G.I. Joe Immortal, and today we're going to take a look at this Willys Jeep that was put out by Johnny Lightning. Yes, the same guys that put out the little 164 cars. Um, was in pretty much up against Hot Wheels, but this is the same guys that made this. It is made out of metal and plastic, and we're just going to go over that. And it works great for G.I. Joe. Um, as I've said before, I like to pick up these 118 scale vehicles, especially if this is the military police vehicle anyway, but especially if they are 118 scale and are really good looking as far as military goes. This is a good World War II Jeep. This is the Willys MB Jeep, and they were a really versatile Jeep when they came out in World War II. They were so successful, it was adapted for many roles other than reconnaissance. They used them on patrols, for attack vehicles. Many different uses. You could also arm a pintle-mounted 12.7 millimeter heavy machine gun on them, and also a light machine gun too. But between them, Ford and Willys manufactured some 650,000 of these vehicles for World War II, and they lasted into the Korean War and into Vietnam. And they still had some box left over that they sold back in the States, and you may see a couple of them driving around in your town, or one laid out at the VFW hall. But this thing is decked out and detailed, man. I really dig this kind of vehicle for G.I. Joe. And let me find something here real quick. Bear with me one second. I'm going to get my stand so we can get a better look at this. And let me prop this up here real quick. So get my hands open here. And there we go. It's a pretty good view of it. As you can see on the sides, this is detailed exactly the specifications, and it has even the lights are nice and detailed. It's in that olive drab green. This is the military police. They cost about 30 bucks in the box, but it also has this canopy that can raise up if you can find like a cover to put on it. But it did not come with a cover, but it does have a working axle, so you can turn the wheels with the steering wheel. Like I said, most of it is metal. The housing is metal, the cab, and then a lot of plastic pieces. But let's go over some of the specifications of the original vehicle. Made in USA. You could crew it with 1 plus 2 to 3 passengers. The weight was right around 2,200 pounds. The dimensions and length was about 10 foot 11 inches. The width was about 5 foot 2 inches. The height is about 6 feet. Now, it had a range of 300 miles and was not armored. It was not really considered an armored vehicle at all. You could, like I say, you could have that 1 by 12.7 millimeter heavy machine gun, or a 3-inch machine gun, 1 by 7.62. And the power plant was a four-cylinder petrol engine, 54 horsepower, and maximum speed was about 65 miles an hour. And these were just used for all kinds of things. I remember watching the old Rat Patrol, and they used to take on the Germans and driving around in their Jeeps with their machine guns. And I mean, it was really cool as a kid to watch that show, but same kind of Jeep. And then you have the shovel. Here's the side view of the vehicle. You got the heavy rubber wheels on it with the heavy alloy rims with the shovel and the pickaxe there. You cannot remove those, which is fine with me. It's got the handles on the side. I showed you the pivoting canopy already. You have the plastic, not real brittle, so they won't break so easy. So you have to be careful with it. But your the windscreen will raise up and down. They do have a blue version, Air Force version of this also, but it has the glass headlights in it. It has all the insignia of the Army. The hood does raise up, and inside is a nice detailed engine, just like you would find in a real Jeep, with the radiator, everything. They did a great job on this, and just wonderful execution of this piece. Let's flip over to the other side. We'll get to some of the detail. On this side, we just have the handle. You have a map carrier there. You have your handles back here. Again, there's your seats. They don't fold, but they would. You have the seat in the back. You could take that out. You could mount a machine gun in there, although they don't have the mounts here. But it has the high and low range gears and the regular stick shift with the working steering wheel, rack and pinion. And there's the inside, which is nicely detailed with all the odometers and all the gauges. And that's the inside. Nice detail on this Jeep. Looks like the real thing. Now we go to the back, and you can see you got the nice markers, the glass markers on the back. You got a place to hold your jerry can, your spare wheel, and your tow hook on the back. There's your brake lights down at the bottom, and your fuel tank. And we'll come right back around to the front. Now this does have the shocks on the back too. So it has some actually spring shocks on the back. Let's take a look at the bottom. And look at the detail there. You got the muffler, the pinion steering. You can see all the engine housing, the transaxle, the whole 9 yards. And that's pretty neat. You even got the leaf springs. But they did a really nice job on this. What a great model to be able to even customize even further and detail out if you wished. But even the headlights are just really cool. It's got the siren on the side, and really good job on this. Now let's check it out. Let's see if Breaker can hang out in this thing, because that's the true test. I want to be able to work with a G.I. Joe. You might have to bend his knees a little bit. We'll see. Let's see if Breaker can fit in here without getting too bad. Well, it might be better to keep his legs straight for a minute. I would go in from the side. There we go. Oh, get your arm up. As you can see, Breaker fits in there really nice. He's got his backpack on, but still fits in there real nice. It looks good. If I took his backpack off, he could slink in there a little bit better. But let's see what that looks like. It looks pretty cool. So now your Jeep has a rider, and I would prefer using the 3 3/4 inch figures because they just seem to work better. The 4-inch ones are a little bit too big, I think, for it. And but they work great for G.I. Joe, as you can see. Now there goes my cord again. Sorry about the shaky camera. But that was put out by Johnny Lightning. You can pick these up at Myers. I know they have been in there for, heck, the last couple of years now, and I may go pick up the other blue one here soon. But they still had quite a few left at my Myers, so just a great pickup for your collection for sure. And they're a little, I mean, some of the plastic on it you got to be really careful with. They probably could be prone to breakage, as some of these plastic pieces here. But for the most part, it's a great display vehicle. Definitely World War II. Definitely got some realism going on there with the engine and everything. Just a really fine job they did on that. Now, let's put this aside and I'll show you my other Willy's Jeep that I picked up a few years ago, and I customized this to be an adventure team Jeep. This is made by a different company. Let me take a look here. Let's see. Oh yeah, it's made by Gate, which is, I think, is a Chinese company, but they did a really good job on this one too. Almost really similar to this one. But this one is fully die cast, and I mean the whole body is metal, and that's what I like about this. But it doesn't have the springs like the other one, but we might as well go over this one here too. But it does have many of the features, like the glass headlights, the turning rack and pinion steering that works. You can see the radiator right through that. He's got a fog light on the one side with a cover. And then you can open the hood. I added the Adventure Team sticker myself, which I thought was awesome. It worked really good with this. And there's the engine there. Not too, I mean, or you can see right through, so it's not as much detail as the other one. I think on as far as the inside of the vehicle goes, they don't have a bottom panel, which it should have there, I think. But still looks really great. It does have the flip up and down canopy on it too, with the wipers, glass windscreen. Same kind of detail in the front. Although this is not really the military vehicle, it is designed almost exactly like the other one, but only has one low range stick. It has a place where you could put a shovel and stuff on it. It has the handles, got a back seat and everything. Got the jerry can. The spare tire. The handles. Doesn't have the flip up canopy though, or does it? I'm not sure. I don't think this one flips up. No. But the other one does. Doesn't have as much detail as the other as far as on the outside of the vehicle, because it's not really this is more of a adventure team vehicle, not really a military vehicle. But they did a really nice job on this one too. But this one would probably be hard pressed to find this one now. But it's made by Gate. But that's my custom Jeep that I use for my G.I. Joe figures. And then I've added this one now. This is the one that I just picked up. And these are at Myers right now, if you want to go pick one up. But they work really great for the G.I. Joe vintage figures. So just to give you a heads up. But what a great looking vehicle. Well, this is Tim. And next we'll be looking at, I picked up an awesome plane. And we're going to be looking at the A10 Thunderbolt that I picked up in a 1/18 scale. And it is a beautiful looking plane. And I'll be posting that video later this week. And that is one heck of a nice piece. So we'll see you again next time. This is Tim for G.I. Joe Immortal. And have a good night, everybody.